All righty. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Greetings, everybody, on this beautiful Shabbat, beautiful Sabbath day. Today is December 6th, 2025. December 6th, 2025. And this is Assembly of the Righteous. This is part 2 we're on right now with the return of Absalom. The return of Absalom. Excuse me, y'all. So, yeah, we're into part 2 of Return of Absalom. In part 1, which is 2 Samuel chapter 14, we started off with Joab. Joab, he perceived that King David was sad, as I was sharing at the end of part 1. He proceeded to say King David was sad because Absalom had fled and left, and he was gone 3 years from his household. He fled the city because he killed his brother Amnon for raping his sister Tamar. Make sure I say it correctly. Tamar, yep, Tamar. For Amnon for raping his sister, which is his brother. That was his sister. He raped because he was infatuated with her. But all this was because of the sin of David, and this was the beginning. If you look at it, I like to break it down to show the reason why. But if you look at it, this was the beginning of the punishment of his prophecy, which was I shared last week, or the week before last, that is. Last week is the prophecy of his punishment was 2 weeks ago. Last week was the beginning by the defiling of Tamara, Tamara, Tama, Tamara. So right now, where we at? We're picking up back off of we're back at 2 Samuel chapter 14. Excuse me, y'all. We're at 2 Samuel chapter 14. And what happened in part 1, what Joab did was he went and got a wise woman out from Tekoa. Tekoa, it sounds like a native name, doesn't it? Tekoa. That's why I said it a couple of times at the time. Tekoa. Sounds like a native name of this land. And she was a wise woman. They don't say smart, they say wise at that time. Wise woman. And he took her and he talked to her suddenly, put words in her mouth and told her what to say to David. And her and David had a conversation. Then David picked up on it. I like the way he did it. He said, verse 18, in 2 Samuel 14:18, he said, then the king answered and said unto the woman, hide not from me, I pray thee, the thing which I shall ask thee. And the woman said, let my lord, the king, now speak. Verse 19 said, and the king said, is not the hand of Joab with thee in all this? And the woman answered and said, as thy soul liveth, my lord the king, none can turn to the right hand or to the left from aught that my lord the king has spoken. For thy servant Joab, he bade me, and he put all these words in the mouth of thine handmaid. To fetch about this form of speech, have thy servant Joab done this thing. And my Lord is wise according to the wisdom of an angel of Yah, to know all things that are in the earth. So he knew that. Then I might well bring it on down to Joab. And the king said unto Joab, behold, now I have done this thing. Go therefore, bring the young man Absalom again. Go bring him back. Now he told him to go bring him back. Why? Because David missed him. I'm going to say missed him. I'm gonna say David was at fault. Because why? I'm gonna show you why he was at fault. And Joab fell to the ground on his face and bowed himself to thank the king. And Joab said, Today thy servant knoweth that I have found grace in thy sight. Today thy servant knoweth that I have found grace in thy sight, my lord, O king, in that the king has fulfilled the request of his servant, meaning he wants to go and get him because he see how you crying or laying down. So yeah, Joab arose and went to Geshur and brought Absalom to Jerusalem. And the king said, Let him not. Here you go. The king is upset, but he knows his fault. The king said, let him, and the king said, Let him return to his own house and let him not see my face. So Absalom returned to his own house and saw not the king's face. You see that? Now, he could have fixed everything up, but he couldn't because he's already knowing what was going on. It was his fault that happened, but he know according to prophecy that happened. Now, Absalom returns to David's court, right? But in all Israel, there was not, okay, bam, here we go. This is the rise of Absalom, as we can about to see. Verse 25. Absalom returned to David's court. And the king said, Let him turn to his own house and let him not see my face. So Absalom returned to his own house and saw not the king's face. 25. But in all Israel, there was none to be so much praised as Absalom. Y'all see that? That's probably why David longed for him, because he knew David, he might have already been the way that he was. But in all Israel, there was none to be so much praised as Absalom for his beauty. So he was handsome. That's why David probably cared about him. My handsome son. From the sole of his foot even to the crown of his head, there was no blemish in him. All right. And when he pulled his head, for it was at every year's end that he pulled it, because the hair was heavy on him, because the hair was heavy on him. Therefore he pulled it. I wonder what pull mean. Joanne, you know what pull mean? If you ain't sleep on me, baby. I can't pull up on.
You said what, babe?
What does pole mean? Pete, are you reading with me?
Yeah, you said spoon?
Pole. And are you reading with me? Are you in the scriptures with me?
No, I'm not in scripture, no.
You just listening?
Yeah.
In verse 26, we have the word pole. P-O-L-L-E-D.
P-O-L-L.
What did that mean? Give me that in etymology, if you don't mind.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
He said Absalom's for his beauty, for the sole of his feet, even to the crown of his head, there was no blemish in him. So he was very handsome. He was nothing happened to him where he got scars on him or anything like that. So he was very handsome. And he had, it sounded like his hair was long.
Sorry to interrupt. I missed that point. What verse is yours?
We on 2 Samuel chapter 14. We at verse 25. Now this is where we stopped at. We stopped at 24. We're starting at 25. We're at 25 and 26. And I want to understand, huh?
What was that question you was asking?
I was asking about poll, P-O-O-L-E-D. Absalom pulled his hair at the year's end every year.
Okay.
And I want to know what the word poll mean. Live.
Did you say pulled or polled?
Polled. P-O-L-L-E-D.
Oh, okay. You said P-O-O. Okay.
P-O-L-L or P-O-L-L-E-D. I know polled ed means afterwards, but just P-O-L-L. Fix my fingernails up. P-O-L-L. Etymology, please. Absalom pulled his hair. I'm going to read this again while y'all looking. Absalom, verse 25. But in all Israel, there was none to be so much praised as Absalom for his beauty. For the soul, from the sole of his foot, even to the crown of his head, there was no blemish in him. 26. And when he pulled his hair, his head, that is, for it was at every year's end that he pulled it, because the hair was very heavy on him. Therefore he pulled it.
Sorry to cut you. I think that actually means shave.
Pulled means shave. He shaved it every year.
I think that's what he shaved.
Okay, yeah, both of you guys. I mean, why didn't you say it online, baby?
My laptop died.
Oh, okay. Thank you, baby. Pull means to cut.
Because it was too heavy. Because sometimes it's like you would do the sheep during the winter time. You keep it on, and in the summertime you take it off because it was kind of a heavy.
I got you. Pull means to cut. My baby's laptop went off. She said it died.
Okay. Let me look it up in etymology.
So he what it was, he cut it every year.
Yeah.
Pulled means to cut. So every year he cut. So he said it got real heavy. So
Do me a favor. Spell your one there again. Because it doesn't have it. I don't have it in mind.
yeah, P-O-L-L P-O-L-L-E-D or just P-O-L-L. What do you got?
Right. Place, polling place.
In 26, verse 26.
Yeah, I'm looking for the actual etymology.
But what's what if you in your Bible, what's in your second Samuel 14:26?
26 in mine, it says, and when he shaved his head.
Okay, well,
and
what
it occurred
okay.
at the end of every year that he would shave it.
Okay, good. I'm got it again. So what Bible are you looking in?
This is called the New World Translation.
Okay. All right. I see where you at. But you got it. It means shave. It just said pulled in excuse me. Right here. So it means to shave. So it means it got very heavy. So he shaved it every year. The weight, okay, I'm 26 again. And when he shaved his head, might well say, for it was at every year's end that he would pull it, which is shave it, because the hair was heavy on his head. Therefore he pulled, which is shave it. The weight, he weighed the hair of his head at 200 shekels. That's how much he used to weigh. Shekels. 200 shekels after the king's weight. (27) And unto Absalom there were born 3 sons, and 1 daughter, whose name was. And unto Absalom there were born 3 sons, and 1 daughter, whose name was Tamar. See, like he named her Tamar as well. She was a woman of fair countenance. So Absalom dwelt 2 full years in Jerusalem. Okay. Now he been 3 years he was gone. Now he back 2 years. and saw not the king's face. So now he done made it back, and he didn't see the king for 2 years. 29. Therefore Absalom sent for Joab to have sent him to the king, but he would not come to him. And when he sent again the second time, he would not come. So Joab wasn't coming to see him neither. He said, well, the king ain't seen you. I don't want to see you. So he wanted to go and talk to him. Therefore Absalom sent for Joab, for have sent to him to the king. I mean, he wanted Joab to send him to the king, but he would not come to him. And when he sent again the second time, he would not come. Therefore he said unto his servants, see, Joab's field is near mine. See, Joab's field is near mine, and he has barley there. Go and set it on fire. And Absalom's servant set the field on fire. I bet he came then. Then Joab arose and came to Absalom unto his house, and said unto him, wherefore have thy servant set my field on fire? You know how to catch people's attention when you want to catch somebody's attention, don't you? When you want to catch somebody's attention, you know how to go about doing it. You trying to call, listen, I called you 2 or 3 times, you ain't come. I had to get your attention. Then Joab arose and came to Absalom into his house, and said unto him, wherefore have thy servant set my field on fire? And Absalom answered Joab, behold, I sent unto thee, saying, come hither, that I may send thee to the king, to say, wherefore am I come from Geshur? It has been good for me to have been there, to be there still. Now therefore let me see the king's face, and if there be any iniquity in me, let him kill me. So Joab came to the king and told him, and when he had called for Absalom, he came to the king and bowed himself on his face and the ground before the king, and the king kissed Absalom. So he loved him. That's his son. Well, we're going to chill right here, even though we're only 17 minutes in, because I want to give me some rest. They got 15. 37, 17 minutes. I might can go through 15. I might go through 15, see what's happening here. All right. Well, I don't want to be here too long, but it might take me about an hour and something. I don't know. But just see what happens. Absalom revolts against David. Okay, bam. But first, let's see this. I like the way Absalom got what you call his attention. And the king kissed Absalom. He was glad to see him. He was there 2 years. And then came, you told me to come home. Y'all came and got me. You told me to come home. I've been here 2 years. I might well stay in Gershon. Why I'm back over here? Why y'all asked me to come home? The prodigal son. Don't that sound like the prodigal son, y'all? Don't that sound like the prodigal son?
Yes, does that.
It do, don't it? Chapter 15. Might as well go through it. We'll see what happens. Absalom revolts against David. And it came to pass after this, that Absalom prepared him chariots and horses and 50 men to run before him. And Absalom rose up early and stood beside the way of the gate. And it was so that when any man had a controversy, okay, I remember this. When any man had a controversy, came to the king, that had a controversy came to the king for judgment, then Absalom called unto them and said, Of what city art thou? And he said, Thy servant is of one of the tribes of Israel, meaning from one of the cities. Then and Absalom said unto him, thy matters are good and right, but there is no man dispute of the king to hear thee. Dispute it. And Absalom said unto him, See, thy matters are good and right, but there is no man disputed of the king to hear thee. There's nobody of the disputed or might be beside probably, but it said disputed of the king near me to hear thee. For Absalom said, Moreover, oh that I were made judge in the land. All right, and he putting himself in a position. And Absalom said unto him, And Absalom said, Moreover, oh, that I was made judge in the land, that every man which have any suit or case might come unto me, and I would do him justice. And you see it say suit. Suit or cause. Might come unto me that, and I would I would do him justice. And it was so that when any man came nigh to him to do him obstinance, because he was the king, he was a prince. Can do obstinance. He put forth his hand and took him and kissed him. And on this matter did Absalom to all Israel that came to the king for judgment. So Absalom stole the hearts of the man of Israel. Right here. Because they was coming to the king, but Absalom cut them off, so they didn't come and see him. Absalom was already outside talking to him. He made himself a judge, so he started to speak to the people as they came through. And it came to pass after 40 years, that Absalom said unto the king, I pray thee, let me go and pay my vow which I have vowed unto Yah in Hebron. For thy servant vowed a vow while I abode in Gershon, in Syria. After it came back after 40 years, Gershon in Syria, saying, if Yah shall bring me again indeed to Jerusalem, then I will serve Yah. And the king said unto him, Go in peace. So he arose and went to Hebron. And it came to pass after 40 years that Absalom said unto the king, After 40 years. That sounds kind of odd. Excuse me, y'all. After 40 years. I get something. I have to get me another. That sounds kind of funny right now. So it depends on how this 40 years add up. Excuse me. Number 9. And the king said unto him, Go in peace. So he arose and went into Hebron. Excuse me. Verse 10. But Absalom sent spies throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, As soon as ye hear the sound of the trumpet, then ye shall say, Absalom reigneth in Hebron. What? Mm. 11. And with Absalom went 200 men out of Jerusalem that were called, and they went in their simplicity, and they knew not anything. So they just went not knowing what was going on. It was simple. They didn't know what was going on. They just decided to get up. Absalom pulled them together, and they knew not anything in their simplicity. Excuse me, y'all. Nose beginning to run for some odd reason. Then ye shall say, Absalom reigneth in Hebron. 11. And with Absalom went 200 men out of Jerusalem that were called, and they went in their simplicity, and they knew not anything. And Absalom sent for Ahithophel, Ahithophel, the Gileonite, David's counselor from his city, even from Gilead, while he offered sacrifices, and the conspiracy was strong, for the people increased continually with Absalom. After 40 years, he's sitting up there, he's building himself a name. He's building himself a name after 40 years, so he go to the king, tell him, okay, I got to go here. So now he's conspiring. And Absalom sent for Ahithophel, the Gileonite, whoever this is, David's counselor. This is David's counselor. From his seed, even from Gilead, while he offered sacrifices, and the conspiracy was strong, for the people increased continually with Absalom. David flees from Jerusalem. Okay. 13. And there came a messenger to David, saying, The hearts of the men of Israel are after Absalom. Okay. And there came a messenger to David, saying, The hearts of the men of Israel are after Absalom. And David said unto all his servants that were with him at Jerusalem, Arise and let us flee, for we shall not else escape from Absalom. Make speed to depart, lest he overtake us suddenly, and bring evil upon us, and smite the city with the edge of the sword. Okay, so now David already knows what's up. To all his servants with him at Jerusalem. Let's get up and get out of here. Make speed to depart, lest he overtake us suddenly and bring evil upon us. That's why when your creator say something, you better take heed. When the creator speaks, you got better listen. And this is the reason why you're supposed to listen to his voice and his word. Damn, my mother just, excuse me, everyone. Mm. Mucus running, y'all. It's 14, verse 15. 15. And the king's servant said unto the king, excuse me, y'all, for that. And the king's servant said unto the king, behold, thy servants are ready to do whatsoever my lord the king shall appoint. 16. And the king went forth and all his household after him, and the king left 10 women. See that? And the king left 10 women, which were concubines. They still was his wives, but they were concubines to keep the house. Y'all keep the house, but we gonna leave. He took his wives with him, but 10 other women, which the concubines that he was laying with. Thy servant that do whatsoever my lord king shall appoint. That's how you know you got loyal people. Thy servants are ready to do whatsoever my lord the king shall appoint. Mm-hmm. And verse 16 again. And the king went forth and all his household after him. And the king left 10 women, which were concubines to keep the house. 17. And the king went forth and all the people after him and tarried in a excuse me. And the king went forth and all the people after him and tarried in a place that was far off. They waited at a place that was far off. And all his servants passed on beside him, and all the Cherethites and all the Pelethites and all the Gittites, 600 men which came after him from Gath, passed on before the king. Then said the king to Ittai, the Gittite, wherefore? Then the king said to Ittai, the Gittite, wherefore goest thou wherefore goest thou also with us? Wherefore goest thou also with us? Return to thy place and abide with the king, for thou art a stranger. Go to your place and return to thy place and abide with the king, for thou art a stranger, and also in an exile. You're also an exile. Whereas thou camest but yesterday, should I this day make thee go up and down with us? You just came here yesterday. I don't really know you, but shall I make you go up and down with us? You're a stranger unto us. That means know the people that's around you. See what I'm saying? Know the people that's around you, because you never know who's a spy. See? Can't trust everybody. Can't trust everybody. Should I this day make thee go up and down with us, seeing I go whether I may return? I go whether I may return thou. See whether I go. And Let me go back over 20. Whereas thou camest but yesterday, shall I this day make thee go up and down with us? Seeing I go whither I may, return thou and take back thy brethren. Mercy and truth be with thee. See that? So he's saying, y'all go ahead. Y'all mercy and truth be with you. Return thou and take back thy brother. Go back where you come from. And if thou answered the king and said, as Yah liveth, and as my lord the king liveth, surely in what place my lord the king shall be, whether in death or life, even there also would thy servant be. So they respected him, and they knew his they knew of his fame of Yah. And David said to Ittai, go and pass over. And Ittai the Gittite passed over, and all his men, and all the little ones that were with him. And all the country wept with a loud voice, and all the people passed over, shall I say. The king also himself passed over the brook Kidron, and all the people passed over towards the way of the wilderness. And lo, Zadok. Also, and all the Levites were with him. And lo, Zadok, and all the Levites were with him, excuse me, bearing the ark of the covenant. See, they had the ark of the covenant. The priests, and there goes Zadok, you'll find in Exodus chapter 40, talks about his kin. Zadok, bearing the ark of the covenant of Yah. And they set down the ark of Yah, and Abiathar went up until all the people had done passing out of the city. Abiathar. I think he was the head priest for quite some time. He the one that escaped when Saul was killing all the priests of Yah. He said, kill the priests of Yah. I can't believe he said that. Like that too. But he's the only one that escaped at that time. Abiathar. Verse 25. 2 Samuel 15:25. And the king said to Zadok, carry back the ark of Yah into the city, if I shall find favor. Carry back the ark of Yah into the city. If I should find favor in the eyes of Yah, he will bring me again, and show me both it and his habitation. But if he say thus say, but if he does say, I have no delight in thee, behold, here am I. Let him do to me as seemeth good to him. The king said also unto Zadok, the priest, art not thou a seer? Okay, hold on. Let me get all this. And the king said unto Zadok, all this right here is what he said. And the king said unto Zadok, carry back the ark of Yah into the city. If I shall find favor in the eyes of Yah, he will bring me again and show me both it and his habitation. His habitation is where they were. Excuse me. Understand, even though all the world is the creators, this is habitation. This is his resting place. 26. But if he does say, I have no delight in thee, behold, here am I, let him do to me that seemeth good unto him. What I'm gonna do is this. This other part. I have no delight in thee. Behold, here am I. Let him do to me that seemeth good. Because he already know the Creator was upset at him at one time, but he forgave him. But he forgave him, but you gonna get this punishment. That's the difference when people don't understand a punishment from being forgiven. Is you gonna still get a whooping from still being forgiven. Oh, I love you, but I'm still gonna whoop you. And how did you say, Cass? He chastised those he loved. So David getting the whooping by, say again, bro?
I said that's right.
Yeah, he chastised those he loved. So if he don't chastise you, he just let you get out there and just get whooped any type of way, hey. But you'll know.
I'm saying that you've been brought up or you've been dragged up. So being brought up is where you're gonna be taught, and if you step out of line, of course they're gonna put you in your place.
Right.
You're just being dragged up, they're just gonna leave you, let you carry on and do whatever you want to do.
Right. There you go. Exactly. 27. The king said also to Zadok, the priest, art not thou a seer? Return into the city in peace, and your 2 sons with you, Ahamazaz thy son, and Jonathan. That was my son's name. Jonathan. Jonathan or Jonathan. That's what I'm calling it. Jonathan. Jonathan. That was the name of my son. My last son, at least. And Ahamaz. Thy son, and Jonathan, the son of Abiathar. 28. See, I will tarry in the plain of the wilderness until there come word from you to clarify me. Zadok therefore and Abiathar, carried the ark of Yah again to Jerusalem, and they tarried there. Okay. 30. And David went up by the ancient of Mount Olives. The ancient accent, I'm saying ancient, but it's accent. And David went up by the accent of Mount Olive and wept as he went up and had his head covered. Yeah, he was shamed. That's what it was. He wept while he went up and he was shamed. That was shame. As he went up and had his head covered. Yep, that was in shame. See, if I
said he was weeping.
Yeah. Said he wept as he went up and had his head covered. That means that he was in shame. He was ashamed, wasn't you? When you feel like that, you walking with all your people and you crying and you got your head covered.
It's like these people, when they coming out of court for something that they've done wrong or going in, they got their heads and faces covered.
Yep. Hold on. Some mucus coming. One thing I can say, that black seed oil ain't no joke. Or black seed capsules.
Get it out.
They ain't no joke, boy. They clear you out. And David went up by the way, verse 30. And David went up by the way, by the ascent of Mount Olive, and wept as he went up, and his head covered, and he went barefoot. And all the people that was with him covered every man his head, and they went up weeping as they went up. Mm-hmm. He knew why all that was going on, though. I'm gonna tell you, when the father whoop you and you know the father whooping you, it's an embarrassing point, and you understand it. 31. And one told David, saying, Apathiel is among the conspirators. Apathiel is among the conspirators with Absalom. I think I'm saying it right. And one told David, saying, Athipothiel, whatever, Athipothiel, whatever. Athithopphel. Athiophil is among the conspirators with Absalom. And David said, Oh, yeah, I pray thee, turn the counsel of Abiathar into foolishness. He prayed to him. Turn it into foolishness, because that was David's counselor. And he turned from David. Turn it into foolishness. He prayed to the Creator to turn it into foolishness. And it came to pass that when David was come to the top of the mount, there where he worshipped Yah, behold, Hushai, the Archite, came to meet him with his coat rent and the earth upon his head. I remember this point right here too. This is how David, if David didn't know, this is how David gonna know. I remember this part. If David didn't know, or if he forgot, or the reason why that this was going on, he's about to get told right here. Let's see, who I want to put. And Hushai came to meet him with his coat rent and earth upon his head. (33) Unto whom David said, If thou passest on with me, then thou shalt be a burden unto me. Wait a minute, let me read this again. I felt that coming. Verse 32. And it came to pass that when David was come to the top of the mount where he worshipped Yah, behold, Hushai the Archite came to meet him with his coat rent and earth upon his head. Unto whom David said, If thou passest on with me, then thou shalt be a burden unto me. Really? But if thou return to the city and say unto Absalom, I will be thy servant, O king. What? But if thou return to the city and say unto Absalom, I will be thy servant, O king, as I have been thy father's servant hitherto, so will I now also be thy servant. Then mayest thou for me defeat the counsel of Apathiel. I got to understand what's going on here, because it looked kind of twisted. Unto David said, If thou passest through. And one told David, saying, Apathiel among the conspirators with Absalom. I'm back at 31, trying to understand what's happening. And one told David, saying, Apathiel, I'm just gonna say Apathiel, is among the conspirators with Absalom. And David said, "Oh yeah, I pray thee, turn the counsel of Apathiel into foolishness." And it came to pass that when David was come to the top of the mount where he worshipped Yah, behold, Hushai, the Archite, came to meet him with his coat rent and earth upon his head. Unto whom David said, If thou pass on with me, then thou shalt be a burden unto me. But if thou return to the city, okay, he told them to go to the city, and say unto Absalom, I will be thy servant, O king, as I have been thy father's servant hitherto, so will I now also be thy servant. Then mayest thou for me defeat the counsel of Apathiel.
What I was getting from that is that he's sending his servant there,
Right,
and the servant's going to plead to the son.
right.
He'll be there basically gathering information on David's behalf.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, kind of like a spy, I would say.
Yeah. Because he's trying to make Apathiel, or whatever his name, counsel foolish, right?
Yeah.
Mm. Excuse me, y'all. I'm listening. That sound like about it, because he had to send somebody to go and talk to make his counsel foolish. Excuse me. So it says, verse 34, But if thou return to the city and say unto Absalom, I will be thy servant. So he's saying, they told him that if you go to, I will be thy servant, O king, as I have been thy father's servant, okay, which means David's servant. I got you.
Yeah, so he doesn't get, well, bust up, as you would say. You know, it's like you're sucking up to.
Right. What he's saying is, I'll be your servant like I was David's servant. So
Right.
Apathiel, whatever his name is, because David know that he's the wise counselman. So he said, make his counsel foolish. So he's saying, well, I'll be your servant. So he says, as I have been thy father's servant hitherto, so will I now also be thy servant. Then mayest thou for me defeat the okay. Then mayest thou for me defeat the counsel of Apathiel. There you go, right there. There you go. That's how he beat the counsel of Apathiel, whatever his name is. Let's see how I get that. I got to put that together correctly. Well, now I guess I get a chance to use Mother Sharpies. Got to beat out that counsel.
Reminds me of,
Say again, bro.
I said it reminds me of what's going on over here
Talk to me.
with the so-called royal family. So David messed up, brought down the fire on his whole family, create a mess. So here we got the mother has been brutalizing people for years, over 70 years. And she gone out of the way, put the son in charge. But along with all that, all the stuff was coming out, all the evil was coming out. You know, the people loved this person so much that they lined the street for days in the cold just to watch the funeral procession.
Really?
And now they're finding out that they weren't as forthright or what's the word? Basically, not as good as they thought they were. So it's basically crumbling now. I don't know if you get the same news sometimes over there, but you got Andrew, who is the associate of the pedophile ring setup. So that blew everything out of the way. They used to have a street after him, The people who want it removed, give it a different name. Yeah, so once you mess up, there's no coming back in that sense.
Yeah, man. So that's actually happened over there?
Oh yeah, it's happening.
That's first time.
What's his name? Young Will Harry.
Yeah, King Harry.
Come over there with Megan.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
Break away from it. Yeah. Oh, it's messed up. It's crumbling. Because old Hendo told him, "Do not sit on that throne. If you do, you will not last very long."
Oh, Hendo told him that?
Oh yeah. And in no time, he said he's got prostate cancer.
Who? Henry?
Charlie Boy. No, Charlie Boy, the king, supposedly king.
Oh, really?
Now, that is not something that is heard in those sideline, those people, because they've got their medical people who stringently monitor all their going-ons, So we know that's not true. It's something else that they don't want to say. So that's one of the easiest way to fool the public. Just like when somebody do something that they find some kind of a something to bring them down.
Right. A conspiracy.
There you go.
Right.
You got no prostate problem. That's rubbish.
Just saying that in order to try to step down because of what Hendo told him.
Yeah, because the whole royal thing is never going to happen again, he told him. It's it. It's over. We brutalized the people for over 70 years.
Longer than that, but yeah.
Well, the mother, she didn't actually, well, from my understanding, go out and use a sword or a gun and go boom, dick, but she gave the orders. Men who are working for you,
Hillary Clinton would have been just as bad. Also, Kamala over here. But let's go ahead on into 35. Verse 35. Then, make sure I get this. Defeat the council. That's it. But you're right, though. You had me right on that one. So that's what happened. Verse 35. And hast thou not there with thee Zadok and Abiathar the priest? Therefore it shall be that what things soever thou shalt hear out of the king's house, thou shalt tell it to Zadok and Abiathar the priest. So he's saying, whatever you hear, you're going to tell it to them too. Tell it to them, and they loyal. Behold, they have there with them their two sons, Amazah, Zadok's son, and Jonathan, Abiathar's son. Okay. Okay. And by them ye shall send to me everything that they can hear. So they're using the sons as the messenger bearers. They're using Zadok and Abiathar, the priest, to be But actually, what's his name? Hushai? Who? Huh?
Like infiltrated.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Hushai is going to be the counselor. The counselor is going to let Zadok and what's their name? Zadok and nope. Yeah, Zadok and Jonathan. Wait, hold on. Make sure I got these names right. Cause Zadok and Abathar. That's right. Zadok and Abathar, they're going to be the ones that's going to be priests. So he's going to tell it to them. They're going to tell it to their sons, and their sons going to go back and tell David what's going on. And by them ye shall send unto me everything that ye can hear. And Hushai, David's friend, came unto the city, and Absalom came into Jerusalem. So Hushai, David's friend, he was going to be the counselor, to bow himself and be the counselor for him. And Absalom came to Jerusalem. All right, shoot. I guess we finished with this for this week.
He's still playing his games, though, isn't he?
Huh?
I said he's still playing his games, so he'll infiltrate the court to get the information.
Yeah. But he did that because this still because of war, because the creator said that and David know. But that wasn't the point that I was thinking. I thought that this guy was gonna come back and he's gonna start cussing at David and stuff like that. I thought that was it, but that wasn't that point. It was a guy that's gonna be cussing David out, talking to him and throwing rocks at him and stuff like that, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. And all that is because of David messed around and he slept with a woman, got her pregnant, and killed her husband. All this right here has happened because of that. That one incident. And even though that one incident, that's strong. That's one of the highest. Think about it. You taking another man's life, that's one of the highest things you can do. As far as I'm concerned, and the outside of the creator, you take another man's life. Excuse me.
A lot of confusion there as well, that people, it does say that he was a man of God's own heart.
I mean, he was. It's just that he made a mistake by letting lust take over his mind.
Right, but I think what that is, he actually repent thoroughly
There you go.
and feel terrible, dreadful for what he's done. Whereas, like you see some people get sentenced and they just have that smirk on their face, no remorse.
Right.
So this is also where the redemption, is that redemption, what they call it? That the court is set up here now for those people who are willing to step back,
Take a plea deal.
give up some of the names of the people who put them up to what they've done.
Right.
They get a lighter sentence and life they can live later on.
Oh, baby. Thank you. Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome,
My
honey.
baby brought me some drink.
But hey,
It was chilly, baby. I just cut it off.
You did?
I just cut it off, yeah.
It feels good up here to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
give me a second, please.
I'm about to go get on my laptop.
Thank you, baby. Is it charged up?
Yeah, had to let it charge up.
Yeah, actually we done.
Oh, y'all done?
Yeah, we just got done. We just did chapter 15. Next week, we're going to go into 16.
Oh, you moving right along.
Yeah, we're going to 16. This one, Absalom, is going into the stories, getting into the story, really getting an understanding of everything and how things is happening the way they did as well.
Right.
And Cass was just giving his point of view on it as well.
Oh, okay. Hey, Brother Cass.
He might have stepped away.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Got some clothes in here.
Yeah, I got some cloves and some cinnamon with that lemon ginger tea. Gotta let it steep a little bit. Because I didn't boil that. That's just boiling.
Right. Yeah, so but we see what happens and what's happening. So it's still time of war.
Yep.
Still time of war, but David is allowing, the Creator is allowing these things to happen, but the Creator said David is king, but he's still punishing him through the things that he did. Because he made a promise to David too. See, the Creator can't go in. I sit up here, I'm looking at it. Creator ain't gonna go back on his promise. He made a promise to David back in, what was that? Chapter 7, was it? What that promise he made to David at? I think it was in chapter 7 or what? He made a promise to David. Well, I'm trying to get exactly where that promise is at. I probably ran right past it. Yah's covenant. Yeah, right here, Daniel chapter 7, 2 Samuel 7. When he made a promise to David. So he made a promise to David back here. So he wasn't going, he said right here at 11, Yah's covenant and David's prayer. But his covenant is from 11, is 10 through 17. David's prayer is from 18 to 29. 18 to 29, that's David's prayer. But the covenant that Creator said, and this is how come, this is why you got to understand, when the Creator says something, he means what he says. So even though he told David, he forgave David, even though he did what even though he said, I'm gonna whoop you, and you're gonna be having situation with your family from here on out. Right here, 2 Samuel 7 and 10, it says, moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel and will plant them that they may dwell in peace. Because this one, David wanted to make a house for him. He thought about making a house. He ain't say it, but he thought about it. He said he would dwell in tents and I'm in a house. And he spoke on it. And then that's when Nathan came and gave him the prophecy on it. And then this is when all this information came about. And this is Yah's covenant through Nathan talking to David. And it says, in the place place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of the wickedness afflict them anymore as before time. And as since the time that I command judges to be over my people Israel, this is 11, 2 Samuel 7 and 11. And since the time that I commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thine enemies, also Yah telleth thee that he will make thee a house. Telleth thee that he will make thee a house. And when thy days be fulfilled, see right here, verse 12. And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom, this which is Solomon. He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men. Now, right there, David probably didn't know who it was at this point. It could have been Absalom. He don't know. It could have been Absalom at this time. He just says it's going to come out of your bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the stripes of the children of men. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it away from Saul, whom I put away from before thee. And thine house and thine kingdom shall be established. See, and thine house and thine kingdom shall be established forever. Before these, but he said after he passed. That's your key. And here he said, he shall build a house for me in name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father. Verse 12. And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels. You see that? He ain't dead. He ain't gone. So, but he also knew that Chris said from this point on, you're going to have, what did it say over in 10? What did it say over here in, is it 12:10 or 13:10? No, 12:20. Then David rose from the earth and, not there. That's one key. That's not the key I'm talking about, though. Nope. It's 13, 14. Not them. That's when he got up from fasting. I just got to reading this one here. What am I looking for? When my mind is on something right now. Nope. I forgot where my mind is at. My mind's on something. I'm just thinking. Abner, no, King of Israel. That should be Captain of Israel. No. Isaiah. That was Isaiah. Nope, I'm not talking about that point. I don't know. My mind was just on something. I don't know why. And the Lord preserved David with, so he went. And David reigned over all Israel, and David executed judgment and justice unto all the people. Nope, but that's not what I'm talking about. Something I was just thinking about to come back, and now it just slipped my mind, whatever it was I was thinking on. I can't even think of what it was. It was something I was thinking on. And like the whole thought just vanished. You there, bro? You back?
Yeah. Look up Miss B.
Can't remember what it was. Whatever it was, it came and gone. But I think we talking about something about you saying something about being righteous in the way. That's what it was. You saying about being righteous, David.
Oh yeah. That he was man of God's own heart.
Right. That's what I was going to. I was looking right at it, but it slipped my whole mind about the. I came right to it, and what it was after the baby passed. Even though David was had did all he did, killed Uriah and stuff like that, and got beside himself. That's why when people say, I always tell people, David was a murderer. David was a murderer. He was a murderer. He wasn't no murderer. He murdered someone or did kill somebody one time. So it's not a murderer. He just killed someone. He had someone murdered, but he wasn't a murderer. A murderer when you continue to do something. So he did have someone killed, right? And he committed adultery. So all these things he did to me was like at the highest degree, far as I'm concerned, according to the law. But over here, this is something that a lot of people don't say. When David, he was praying to the Creator because he knew it was his fault that the child came and the Creator said he was going to die. The Creator said that David fast for him, he fast 7 days. Excuse me. Didn't eat none of anything. But over here, what happened, even after the 7th day, after his fasting, he didn't get up and say, okay, I'm just going to go eat like a lot of people say. This is what I never really heard no other people say it till I read it, and I like to explain it. And over here in the 2 Samuel 12 and 20, it says, Then arose David from the earth and washed and anointed himself and changed his apparel and came into the house of the Lord and came into the house of Yah and worshiped. Then he came to his own house and went, and when he required, they set bread before him and he did eat. So even after the 7 days, he was on the fast and stuff like that, and he was really trying to ask the Creator to bring his son back that him and Bathsheba had. He fasted, didn't eat for 7 days. Next thing you know, he perceived that when they was talking about it, he said, okay, he think the child passed. He got up, washed himself, anointed himself, went to the place of worship, still hadn't ate. And I believe when you go to place of worship, he asked for forgiveness. He asked the Creator to forgive him. He's sorry and he didn't mean, whatever happened, he asked the Creator to forgive him. Then he went home and then he ate. He didn't just get up and go eat after he fasted. And I don't hear no one else speaking on that.
As they say that you do 99 good and you do one bad and it outweighs everything else.
Yep. That's in scripture.
Because the thought here is that the comparison between him and Saul is that Saul was, how can I say, what he did.
Saul wasn't repentative.
He didn't repent.
There you go. He wouldn't repent.
Here's David, and he continued to seek God's face, as they would say, continuously throughout all that time.
And when you read the story, you can see and tell when David come into the picture, who is this Philistine that defies the army of Yah? God, however you want to say it. He come in talking about the Creator, and you could tell it from the beginning, straight from the beginning. He come in talking about the Creator compared to Saul. Saul always talking about I, me, I, just like Jesus in the New Testament.
Yeah, it's like there's a thing I'm looking at here. It says obedience and faith. He consistently sought to obey God's will and show bold trust even against Goliath.
Yep. That's the whole point. See, that's what I did when I went to courts. Same way. I had Creator in me. I knew Creator. I went with the Creator in my mind, knowing what I know, have the Creator. That's why I tell people. A lot of people don't know that this is spiritual. They don't understand. You have to talk, and that's all this spiritual. People really need to understand the situation at hand. Yep. So the more we get into this and really see, the more we build and understand what the Creator have and want for us. Yeah, buddy. So I guess we'll call it a day. This is the end of 2 Samuel chapter 15. Next week we're going to 16. This is where we at. Oh, shoot. And other than that, I would just like to say, I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really, in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwelled, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. I'm ready to do now. I'm ready to smile way out, but before the smile, we're going to do the benediction and get ready for another beautiful rest of the Sabbath. So right now, I'd just like to say, we're in Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 through 27. And it states, this is the priestly benediction. And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Aaron and unto his son, saying, on this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put Yah's name upon them, upon the children of Israel, which is his law, and Yah will bless them. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shegevo, Vakuto Violam, Ba'ed, Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father. Blessed be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Praise you, Father. Thank you for the word. Thank you for your spirit. Thank you for your knowledge. We praise you, bless you, and thank you for all you've done and been doing and plan to do. Praise you. Thank you. In your holy word we pray. Hallelujah. 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 Praise you. Appreciate you there, Brother Cass. And other than that, I'd like to say thank everyone for coming through that came through. I'd like to thank Cass and my baby Joanne for being on before computer went off. And Lilia. Am I correct? Lilanya. Lilonya, right? Lilonya. Lilonya. I'm just kind of picturing my mind. Leelawnyah. Oh, Lilonya. Lei. Yeah, but I'm just saying Lee in my mind. I'm just kind of.
To get the Lee in.
Yeah, Lilonya. I got you. But Lei still. Lilonya. Glad she came through while she was here for part 1. But other than that, just like thank everybody for coming, coming and keeping the creative Sabbath, or we keep the Sabbath by the Sabbath day. The Sabbath come to us. Some people, you going to the Sabbath? No, you can't go to the Sabbath. The Sabbath come to you each week. A lot of people used to say, you going to the Sabbath. You can't go to the Sabbath. The Sabbath come to you You can keep this app. You can keep the convocation convocation. Come to the convocation like that. But the Sabbath come to you every week, which is the seventh day. But other than that, I'd like to thank everybody for coming, everybody for being here. We're going through the scriptures every week. We start off around 12 o'clock. Sometime I get here a little late. I got here late today. Taking care of some other things before I got in, with around the house. In the house, that is. But other than that, I'd like to ask everyone, if you'd like to get in contact with me, please give me a call at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. You can also email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym at, gmail.com. I had to stretch that out real quick. And if you'd like to get in contact with me on platforms, if you'd like to look at part 1 and part 2. Part 1 and part 2 is on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. That's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. The YouTube is Juice Pro 33, and it's under the live video. That's live, which is part 1 and part 2, under live video, and in my YouTube page. And again, that's Juice Pro 33, which is spelled JUICE PRO 33. Again, that's JUICE PRO 33. And we also have part 1 and part 2 in Instagram. That's Instagram. You can put in the search engine on Instagram, LKHYYM_THEJUICE. Again, that's LKHYYM_THEJUICE. All right. That's Instagram. And on Facebook, part 1 and part 2. On Facebook, part 1 and part 2, we're on Mikael Harris. There's MI''CHAEL space HARRIS. That's MI''CHAEL space HARRIS. Excuse me. So, those are part 1 and part 2. Now, if you want to look at the full video from Zoom, the full video is on YouTube again as well, which is Juice Pro 33. That's JUICE PRO 33 under video this time. The full version is under video. Part 1, part 2 is under YouTube Live, under Juice Pro 33. But like I said, this is under the full video now, JUICE PRO 33, which is the full version from Zoom. Also, we have the full version on X, formerly known as Twitter. There's X, formerly known as Twitter, and there's LKHYYM_THEJUICE. X, formerly known as Twitter, again, JUICE PRO 33. I'm sorry. That's X, formerly known as Twitter. It's Juice Pro 33. JUICE PRO 33 altogether. Now on Patreon.com. We have Patreon.com/LKHYYM. Patreon.com/LKHYYM. Also, we're on Rumble.com with the full video. Rumble.com/LKHYYM. That's Rumble.com/LKHYYM. And on the TikTok. We're on TikTok at same as Instagram, which is @ in the search engine and LKHYYM_THEJUICE. That's the Kaim _ Juice, the Juice again, @ sign in the search engine, and you also add with that LKHYYM_THEJUICE. All right. Now, last but not least, we have Mikael the Juice Harris, Michael the Juice Harris. On my other TikTok, which you put in the search engine @ sign MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. That's @ sign MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. All right. We have those done for all the platforms. Now, if you want to get them on the Zoom, if you want to come on the Zoom, we're on the night after Sunday at 9 p.m., which is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation, the night after Sunday at 9 p.m. And we're here at that time, Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we're here on Monday nights after Monday nights, which is at 9 p.m., which is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. That's Mikael's Knowledge of Truth on the night after Monday at 9 p.m. At 9 p.m. Eastern. Now, on Tuesdays, we're here on Zoom only. This is Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. This is Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge, and we're here on Instagram. I'm sorry. We're here on Zoom at that time, and on Zoom only. We're not broadcasting that live. We're just doing that right now until we get a safe place where we can play all that private. But it is being recorded, and we're here on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. At 6 p.m. Eastern. Last but not least, we're right here on the Sabbath at 12 p.m. noon. Right here on the Sabbath, 12 p.m. noon, which is the beginning of the evening and the end of the morning at noonday on the Sabbath, 12 o'clock Eastern time. Other than that, y'all excuse me, I'm getting tired. I always get right there around this time. But I thank y'all for y'all time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. What we're going to do, we're going to pause Zoom, since you've been on the longest, part 1 and part 2. We'll be right back with you. Love you, appreciate love you, and always. Peace.
Recording stop.
Still here, Cass. For everybody else, I'd like to thank y'all for y'all time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Thank y'all for coming, for who all did. Other than that, I'll see you soon. Say bye first over here to Instagram. Or just Facebook. Yeah, it looks like Facebook. Time I pick you up, I get slow connection. All right. But other than that, y'all have a great day, a great night. Like we had somebody in, but I can't see it with this thing, slow connection down here. But you have a great day, Facebook. Have a great night, and I'll see you soon. Appreciate, love you, and always. Peace. There we go. Over here on Instagram, we thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you, and always. Peace. Facebook Live. Or should I say YouTube Live? Thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you. See you soon and always. Peace. All righty.